Dayfacto podcast is privileged to have been founded on Wadjuk Noongar land.
We pay our respects to the traditional owners of this land and express our sincere gratitude for their ongoing guidance as we work in their community.
Alright, hello and welcome back to another episode of Dayfacto, where we discuss a 9-to-5 kind of relationship in another podcast. That's
Literally.
Try again.
Literally.
Not a single person, soul, not one person asked for.
Nope, no
None.
one.
Done.
My name's Kate.
I'm Nicolette. And we're changing it up.
We've gone off the script and it hasn't worked.
Let's redo that. All right.
No, we'll keep it in. It's funny. Is it? What do you reckon, Lainey? She says keep it.
All
Yay.
right.
I get my way.
Take it to the team. Team vote. Keep it. All right. And also, hello, Lainey. She's back from New Zealand. She's back. Looking lovely, refreshed.
She had a great holiday. We've not been on holiday.
No.
Oh, no, wait. We did go to Bali last year.
That's actually good because I don't think we've told the fans who've been to Bali, so it's probably good to bring it back. Bring it back.
Bring it right back.
Recycle it.
And a huge shout out to today's sponsors, which is Nicolette.
We are women.
We Are Women. It's this great organisation.
Huge.
They teach young women about consent, coercion, etc., etc.
They go out to schools, community groups, universities.
Yep, spelt we as in WERARE and women, slight change, WOMXN. I'm not sure why they called it that.
Nope, they're great. You should really check them out because it ties into
Today's chat, which we will be discussing some little bit tougher topics. So content warning. We're talking about coercion and consent later on.
Yep.
So just if this is a little bit triggering, we're going to put some notes, some helpful resources in the notes. Lainey, please, thank you. Yeah, that's it. That's the warning.
That's a good one.
Right, Nick, what have you been up to since we last spoke? This is season 2, episode 2.
222.
And we recorded season 1 a couple of weeks ago.
We did.
We've been on a little break.
We had a little break, a little bit all over the shop. So sometimes
Since
maybe
Bali, it's been busy, so we had to take another break.
it has been busy. It has been busy, but we have done lots. What is it? Already the 16th of January.
It's 16th.
Halfway through.
Crazy.
That is mad because I can't believe
Oh,
it.
I forgot to start recording.
It's going to be December before we know it.
It is. But today's episode is called Don't Shit Where You Eat. It's never a good idea.
No.
And I'm going to tell you exactly why. But first, let's have a little catch up.
Let's have a catch up.
The problem is me and Nicolette have spent all day together as well, so we've already caught up, which means all of the funny content, we've already laughed about it. So we'll try remember the comebacks and the jokes we made, but
and we do always get new content.
yes.
So we never repeat a joke.
We refresh.
We refresh it.
We know that.
Yeah.
New content.
But you know what we did do recently?
Yep.
Even as the mature 27-year-olds we are,
Mature.
we thought it was a little bit crazy. We went to Falls Festival.
We did.
We're crazy.
But just one day, because we can't do 2 days
No.
because we're a bit too old for that. We did one day. We did the first day.
that was a good day to go.
It was a great day to
Yep.
go. We both had double layer of Bondi Sands on, so we were looking fresh.
Actually, I think I only had one, to be honest.
Really?
Just naturally glowing.
I definitely did a double dip in the old ultra dark. I was ultra
The
dark.
1 hour, but you wear it overnight.
Yeah,
Just
that one.
1 hour express, such a lie.
Baked.
Come on.
Oven baked.
If
I
If
was.
it's not slept in it, don't even bother.
Nah.
That's what I say.
So I made me and Nicolette go early as soon as it opened because my favourite band, shout out to Floodlights, I bought a T-shirt.
Been
They
there,
were
done that.
opening.
Bought
They
the
were
T-shirt.
opening. Yep, been there, done that, bought the T-shirt. Because they were opening, I made us go, see them, and then leave, go have drinks, and then come back. I reckon it was a great plan.
It was, and we got there, and I was like, wow,
No one else is here.
they're still setting up the stage. The bar's not open. No, we go up to the bar, and we're like, I was like, oh, can we just get a drink? Because I'm like stone cold sober. I don't really want to just like stand there and like dance to music. I don't
gotta
really know.
hold
Yeah, you got to
something.
hold something or do
Uh-huh.
something. So we went up to the bar, and we're like the only people at the bar. There's like 50 people, bartenders. Everyone's staring at us. We're like, okay, hello.
And then I cracked a joke and was like, oh, are you guys too busy to serve us? And like no one laughed.
I was like, early in the day, all right, not ready for drinks yet. That's fine.
We'll come back later. We'll try this
We'll
again
make
later.
ourselves laugh. Anyway, we're like, I was like, to the first chick, I was like, oh, can I just get an apple cider? The other chick runs to the back, passes it down this like convoy line so they all have something to do. Someone else cracks it, they give it to me. It's like, all right, using all our staff members, that's good.
Love that.
Yep.
So we left as everyone was kind of sort of coming in. We were like, nah, done for the day. We've seen one band, ticket off the list, got the shirt.
Been there.
But we did come back.
We did.
And I have a bit of a funny story. It's a bit of an overshare, but what's new? I overshare all the time. So in the middle of the evening, somewhere it was dark. I would say middle of the dark time of the day. I really had to go to the toilet.
Of the day, of the evening?
Of the evening.
Yeah.
I had to go to the toilet. Things got moving very quickly for some odd reason. Might have been the alcohol, might have been the energy.
Exactly.
But I instantly had to go to the toilet. And so we went and we trekked up this mountain to go to the toilets, which was very hard. And then I'm waiting in line and then it's my turn to go. By this time, the toilets aren't looking that great.
No,
anyway,
so
I get in there, quick once over, looking, okay, cool, we've got toilet paper, everything's here, I'm good.
Essential to check at a festival.
I checked.
Yeah.
Did my little toilet paper seat, sat down, expelled items from my body.
Went to the toilet.
Went to the toilet.
Fun. Yep.
Yeah. Got up. First problem. I didn't factor in the toilet paper sheets that I put on the toilet seat and then what I would need to wipe. So by the time it came to wiping, there was only one sheet left.
That's nice.
So I had to do a wipe little scrunch, and that was very distressing. I was very distressed.
And are you normally a folder or a scruncher?
I'm a scruncher.
Yeah, I'm a scruncher too. I think that represents the chaos of our life.
Yeah.
People that have time to do stuff, folders. People that are busy, scrunches.
I was scrunching, but I was like tiny little scrunching, and then it was almost, at the point where I was going to break through and stab my noose. Anyway, done. Okay, yep, I've worked with that. I've accepted there could be a little bit of, leftovers, but what can I do? I can't. I forgot to bring baby wipes. It'll all come out in the wash. It'll all.
Sorry, you finished.
I finished. And then I turn around. I get my foot on the pedal to start because these are Portaloo. So I get my foot on the pedal to start pumping.
Yep.
And I'm pumping. And I'm pumping.
It's not going.
And nothing's happening.
Nah.
And nothing's happening. So I'm pumping again. Whew, I'm getting all worked up. I'm like.
And it was a hot evening as well.
The whole fucking Portaloo shaking. I'm like, fucking get this shit down the toilet. Anyway, after about, I reckon, 5 minutes of hard pumping, I had to come to the fact that it was not going anywhere. So I shut the seat and I washed my hands and I walked out, and there was this poor girl waiting in the line behind me, and I said, "Oh, babe, don't go in there. It's run out of toilet paper." And do you know what she says? "Oh, I've got some with me." I was like, "Oh, fuck." Luckily, in the time of her saying that she's got toilet paper on her, this drunk guy pushed through the line and went straight in there. So, I thought, karma. That's karma.
No.
And then I grabbed the girls and said, run.
Yeah,
run.
Okay, at the end of the day, Portaloo's always gross. You always got to come out, like, when you go in there, it's hell gross, and then you come out, you got to pull that gross face so people don't think that you left the grossness.
They know that it was gross when you went in there.
You walk in, you go, yuck, it's gross in there. And then everyone around you goes, okay, well, it wasn't them. It was already gross. That's like, everyone knows that rule.
Yeah.
So it's fine. People probably just thought that you were doing that.
Well, this guy,
this guy wouldn't care. He was drunk anyway.
He was way too fucked to even notice.
But the good thing is I didn't feel too old at Falls. We did have a few young people say we looked cool.
We did. Actually, someone complimented me on my shirt.
Someone complimented me on my crop top I was wearing.
And
I
me
said,
Nicolette did go matching.
Well,
pretty much matching. Not on purpose.
Not on purpose. We just have the same style.
We do the same
what
stuff.
it is.
One brain, we say. One tiny little woman brain. Two halves make a whole.
Exactly.
What else happened at Falls, Nick?
It's hard to say. It is hard to say.
Why?
Because I did have a few drinks. And the thing is, when
drinks,
you have a few before you go, and you're like, the thing is, I'll load up now, and that way I don't have to pay $15 a drink.
Because we're broke bitches.
But the thing is, when you get there, you still pay $15 a drink. And you still line up and get drinks.
You do.
So, really, you're kidding yourself.
And
you're just going to drink more.
You get to the front of the line, you're like, I've been waiting this line for 20 minutes, may as well just buy 4 double blacks, because that makes sense.
We did.
So then now you've got 8 drinks in your hand. You've got to drink before they get
and
warm.
They crack them all. So you can't have an unopened one. And I said, can you just not crack them? And she goes, it's policy, babe. And I said, well, it's just me and you here, babe.
Babe.
I'm not going to rat you out.
Don't babe me.
Yeah, you know when you've probably been working with drunk people all day?
True.
She was
We
probably
probably were. Okay, so what else has happened for you since we last spoke? I've written all the notes here. Your box is blank.
No, I did. But you know what? I did think of a funny story when we were driving here. So we passed this car park just before the turn of getting here. And I said to Kate, your funniest thing happened there once. And then I said, actually, you know what? I'll save it. So what happened is Mum took me to, you know when you get your car serviced, so you drive and then like someone follows you.
Yep.
And I was inside putting the car in for a service. Mum's like, oh, wait, here. So I come back, I come running out at the end. Don't know why I was obviously in a rush. Pull open the passenger door. Go to sit down. Not my mum.
Not your mum.
This older lady. She's like, oh! And I was like, oh! And I was like, oh, sorry. And then you have to awkwardly like get back out and close the door. Then I couldn't see mum anywhere, so I had to like awkwardly run around the corner and hide. But mum, how dare you not park out the front? She's like, oh, sorry, I was just around the corner getting a coffee. I was like, oh my God.
Mum,
Mortifying.
follow the rules.
Yeah. So, you know, she probably had a heart attack, that lady, because I would have. If someone did that to my car, freaked out.
Yep.
No, but we did do what do we do? Our ins and outs.
Oh, we did do our ins and outs.
We're going to do our ins and outs.
Oh my God, that was the main thing that we went to talk
Yeah.
about. Yeah, our ins and outs of 2023.
Hang on, mine.
I want to go first. Shotgun. Yes.
So if anyone hasn't
Music.
seen, the ins and outs are the trend going around at the moment.
TikTok trend.
Oh, I think I've seen it on Instagram too. Is what's cool and what's not cool.
According to
No one.
no one.
According to literally no one. So if you don't agree with this,
I
that's
don't care.
fine.
I really don't care.
Absolutely. I'm not here to impress anyone. I'm just talking what's cool. Oops, sorry, ignore that.
I'll go first because Nicolette's taken forever.
I am.
I'm going to start with my ins. Ins?
Yep, start with your ins.
Right, I'm starting with my ins. This is a continuation from last year's chats, read 2022 things we've learned. Number one, in majorly, it's a pet nat summer. I've said it thrice. I'll say it a fourth time.
Love that.
Quadruples time. Pet naps, they're in. All right? They're natural wines. They naturally ferment and then they get bubbly. So they're practically a kombucha of alcohol.
Well,
so
exactly.
say less. Say less than that.
Refreshing summer beverage.
Absolutely. Some do taste like ass, but the good ones
Yeah,
are
I've
pretty
had
nice.
a bad one before.
Yeah, some of them taste like noose, big fat noose. The
Are
third thing.
Oh, we're going. Oh, no.
Yeah,
You go,
let me
then
have
I'll
my
go.
moment. Let me have my moment.
All right, go.
Third, the second thing that's in, we're being feral. We don't give a fuck anymore. We don't care how we look. I reckon just being feral is in.
The fez,
It's in.
The fez is in.
Tying in with that, we're getting sweaty this year. That's in. Getting sweaty. Could be exercising, vigorous sex, doing whatever the fuck you want. Get sweaty.
Saunas.
Get passionate about it.
Love
Saunas.
Love
Last thing, we're going rogue on social media. Stop posting all these curated shit. Just fucking take a video and put it on TikTok.
That's yeah.
That's what's in.
TikTok's in. TikTok is in.
And Instagram is out.
All right.
Nicolette, what are your ins?
Okay, in. Buy nothing groups. Join them. I'll get all the good stuff.
Dave, that's old news.
No, but it's more in.
Okay,
because
it's more
I
in
used to
now.
live in a suburb that didn't have a good buy nothing group. Now I'm in, so it's in.
It's great.
In. Good moods. Don't come to me with your bad mood. If you're not in a good mood, don't come hang out with me because I don't want to sit there with someone who's like just kind of moody and then you're like, what's wrong? And then they say nothing. All right, unless you actually have a genuine reason to be upset and then I'll be there for you. But moody
from that?
people, no. Book clubs in. Join a book club.
Okay.
Great way to read a new book. Get the novels out there. Hats. They were kind of in the end of last year too, but hats, all sign of hats.
Yep.
Morning ocean swims. Love it. Beautiful. In. And being a passenger princess.
I did do that on the way here.
In.
So in.
It's in.
It's
great.
got to be in.
Don't drive, just be a passenger princess. That's the way.
Yes. Okay, out. Number one, sins. Sins are out. Do whatever the fuck you want.
Sins
Obviously,
out, done.
don't break the law, but don't worry about it. Sins are out. We don't give a fuck.
They're out.
You know what's out? Nice cars. Drive the shittiest, most beat up car you can drive. That's nice cars are out. Ugly cars in.
That's always been in for
Do you know
poor
what's
people.
Do you know what's
like
out?
us.
Those weird gym fashion trends.
Like what?
Like you clearly you don't go to the gym.
What, like CrossFit?
Like no, where girls like tuck the back of their shirt right up into their bra, and then the front hangs low, and then they wear the high socks.
Never seen that. That must be a CrossFit thing.
Nah, trust me, it's all over my TikTok.
Okay.
Do you know what's also out?
What?
Be real. It's dead. Dead in the ass. Thumbs down. Denied.
Apparently-
BeReal is denied.
Kate's, new partner doesn't use BeReal, so it's out. It's done. It's not out.
All right, whatever.
Same with Instagram. Apparently it's out. But you know
No,
what?
Instagram is dying.
Yeah, no, it is dying.
My last thing that is out, hangovers. They're gone. See you later. They're out.
So
Don't be hungover.
Well, what about drinking then?
Yeah, you
Is
can
that
go out and you drink, but just don't be hungover the next day. I.e., don't go on about it. Just get up and live your life. That's what's out.
I can't wait to your next hangover. I'm going to say, babe, it's out. It's out. Don't you have a wedding this weekend, Kate? The next morning I'm going to text you and say, you better not be hungover.
I won't be. I'm not doing it. I'm just going to start drinking again the next day.
She's going to take the kombucha.
I've got the kombucha wine.
If you never stop drinking, you're never hungover.
Exactly.
There you go.
But no, drinking actually isn't very good for you, so discouraging from that. But just don't be hungover. Just
Love it. Easy. Sure.
It's 2023. We don't need to be hungover. There's solutions for all problems these days.
All right, out. Gatekeeping.
Oh, yeah.
If someone asks you where it's from, just tell them. They're never going to see you again. We're never going to wear the same thing, whatever it is. Just tell me where you got your pants from. That's all I care about. Not checking your messages.
Oh,
Don't-
so fucking out.
Don't then complain about not knowing something was on when you know our main point of communication is message and you don't check it. Group chats especially. Not my problem if you
Ooh.
didn't check that. Thank you. Diets out. Billionaires out. Sorry.
they're so out.
You don't need to be that rich. Share it around. That's all
Share
I'm saying.
it. Share it.
Fast fashion out. That's been out for a while. Low rise anything out. That's just because I can't pull it off. If you can pull off low rise stuff, good for you. But for me, it's out. Prince Harry out.
Yeah, see you later, mate.
Sorry, but
Any of the royals, though, I think are out.
I'm reading that in my next book club, by the way, which is in, and then we can discuss it because I don't know about that. Mansplaining, been out for a while, but 100% out this year, and I'll call you out on it.
Mm-hmm.
Ironing out, and then cosy living.
Cosy living.
Shipping expensive out.
Out.
Not
Get rid
about
of
it. Get rid of it because it's hard out here. It really is.
Yeah.
But that's all my outs. Sure, I
Excellent.
could think of more, but for now, that's what I've got.
Perfect.
And I'd like to revisit this at the end of the year and see if we stuck to that. And Kate, I would like to know if you've been hungover this year. By the end of the year, I want to know how many hangovers you had.
Don't worry about it. Not once.
She's not going to tell me, that's for sure.
No.
You just went for a jog. I feel great.
Running, throwing up on the jog. Like
Someone
I
needs
jog. Like I jog. Are you
You
kidding
can
me?
jog.
I
You
go
can
on
do
a
it.
very brisk walk, and that's as close to a
close
run
enough.
I'll ever get.
It's close enough.
The other thing that's happened is I'm going back to uni, baby.
Look out.
Excuse me, doing postgraduate in sexology, so I will be licensed to talk about sex.
That means you can come on here and talk about sex, baby.
Sex, baby.
Dun, 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 dun,
And
dun, dun.
also,
and also, Roto Swim.
Roto Swim.
We've got that coming up.
That's coming up in about 5 weeks. The training is
Tapering off.
we're tapering off for the training. What I'm doing is very important to taper off training 5 weeks out and then pick up your carb loading.
If you picture the bell curve, we never got to the bell. We've
Straight with the curve.
just been on the flat line. It's fine. It's good. It's
Because the thing is, though, if you ask me to swim 20 Ks today, right now, gun to my head, it would suck, but I could do it. So that's the sort of mentality I'm
Yeah.
going into the Roto
fine.
Swim
Exactly.
with.
And really, in a team of 4, you're only swimming 5.
You're only swimming 5 Ks.
So, easy.
I'll just have some pre-workout, protein, fucking electrolytes, I don't know, all the little gels, whatever.
Your stinger suit,
Got my Singer suit. She'll be
your
right.
gastro stop, you're ready to go.
Oh, gastro stop. Because the thing that really threw me off last year, the thing that stressed me out the most was if I needed to poo in the middle of the swim. Because we're not stopping.
Kate asked me that. She's like, what do you do if you have to go to the toilet on the swim? Because I'd done it a few years before. I was like, you don't. Or you go in the water. That's the
Oh.
only option.
It's the only option to do to shit while you're swimming.
But because you're swimming so much and you're constantly moving, you kind of don't need to go
That's true.
because you're just burning all your energy off. Nothing to form.
That's
You're
exactly how
burning
it
all your
works,
calories.
though.
Exactly.
But we are actually doing something very cool, which we did last year, but we're raising money for Parkinson's WA.
We are.
My old man has been living with Parkinson's for about 8 years now, and the stuff that Parkinson's WA do for people living with Parkinson's and their family
Amazing.
is amazing and incredible. So if people listening could please donate to our fund, that would be amazing. We're going to pop the link in the notes. That's
Yep.
what it's called.
The show notes.
And we promise you we'll try really, really hard to finish this year. We will. If you donate, I'll up my training
Whoa.
4 times a week. I'll do it. If you,
4
if
times?
you, and
You know
you know
are.
who I'm talking about. You donate.
No, it's a great cause.
It
and
is.
I really think if you're going to support someone, you should support us because why not?
Yeah, and Parkinson's WA. Again,
Plus,
big
who wouldn't want to
flags.
see these rigs in a swimsuit anyway? So
Honestly,
following it, you'll see
these
it.
thunder thighs, amazing in a swimsuit.
These abs,
Incredible.
the whole team.
Excellent.
Perfect.
So that's our little intro. The before of the before, as we
Before
like
the
to
before.
call it.
Exactly.
And now we have the official before, which is Nicolette.
Our hot topic, why we should all date women. And
Yep.
this is just a quick little story because I just thought it was fascinating. So my friend was telling me,
Mhm.
her friend,
Mhm.
kind of mutual friend, acquaintance that I kind of know as well. Anyway, she was dating this man for like 10 years, something like that, throughout high school, etc. They eventually broke it up.
High school sweethearts.
I don't know if they were high school sweethearts, but I think they started. Oh, well, yeah, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
True. And then broke up, relationship ended after like 10 years, something like that.
Mm-hmm.
She started dating a woman, which I feel like most people who dated really long term when they were young seem to come out the other end bisexual or lesbian.
Mhm.
Anyway, good for her. Then full started dating. They decided they wanted to have a baby. She carried it, had the baby. Get this. Her partner, and this is a thing, you can take hormones to help you breastfeed or to like put all these hormones in your body to activate your mammary glands, whatever. So
Whoa.
now they both breastfeed the baby. And I said,
Interesting.
4 tits are better than 2.
4 tits are better than 2. You're so right.
Right? So, and then not only that, you can share it around so the other chick can carry the baby next time.
So they're both breastfeeding.
They're both breastfeeding the baby.
Sick.
So if one wants to sleep, the other one's there. I mean, there's always formula and things like that too. But is that not just the coolest thing?
That is the coolest
Everyone
thing
needs
ever.
to date a woman. And A, no pregnancy scares. You're not going to accidentally think you're pregnant.
Yep.
You don't have to take birth control because there's no chance of accidentally getting pregnant.
Mm-hmm.
Shared wardrobe,
Oh my
Obviously.
God, that would be the best part.
right?
The shared wardrobe thing.
Shared wardrobe. Shared experiences, period pain, everything else, sore
Yep.
boobs,
Yep.
knowing what it's like to be a woman.
Mm-hmm.
And then also, you know, just being with women all the time.
Yep. Because you know what I'm saying? In 2023,
Men are out.
they're out. They're out.
They're gone. They're
You've
done.
had your time.
Had their
It's
time.
women's time now. I would just say female, or those who identify as female, we're the better of the sexes.
Yeah.
I'm
agree.
calling it.
Yep.
That's in this year.
That is in.
Female.
And if you don't agree, again, we don't care. So
This
send
is
us an email.
I don't know. No, maybe not. This is our show. We say what we want.
We'll delete the message. Thank you. All right, today's episode is called Don't Shit Where You Eat. And this is just a content warning. In this episode, we are discussing consent and coercion. That may be triggering to some listeners. And we will also put some helplines or websites you can visit in the episode notes on where you can get help.
Okay. I've had a mental blank. Don't shit where you eat.
For the third time.
For the third time.
Very important. And this goes for all things. Work, gym,
Yep.
school.
Just realised we forgot to give our international listeners a big shout out. So hello. Hello again. This was a 1 a.m. till fucking 4 a.m., 5 a.m. kind of relationship. It just continued on.
It really
the
did.
early hours of the morning. Ugh. So met this guy at the gym. Again, I don't know if I've mentioned it. I do CrossFit.
Do you?
So I'm better than everyone.
Oh, well.
Basically.
Okay.
And I'm surprised I haven't spoke about CrossFit more. He's in my CrossFit class, so I see him every day. Obviously, I was single, getting to know people. We got along pretty well. Thought it was a little bit weird, but you know,
Single and mingling.
single and mingling. Invited him to come out one night with me and my friends for drinks in the city. So he came along. He was pretty good, like chatting with everyone. Like I didn't have to babysit him, which is for me is a big tick.
Did you invite him as a friend or was it like maybe a potential interest?
Potential interest.
Okay.
Definitely. I think we both knew that. During the night, my best mate Peter rocked up to join us, and me and Pete, you know, he's my best mate.
Pete 2 feet.
Pete 2 feet. His name's Peter. He's got 2 feet. That's him.
That's where the nickname comes from. Yeah.
And this guy started to get a little bit jealous of Peter because like me and Pete were just yapping
Vibing.
away as we do. We're vibing. We vibe all the time.
There's science to it. So
Yeah, well, there's science. There's a science to vibing, and we know that. I have always said that. That's the thing.
Exactly.
So he started showing some signs of getting jealous about Peter, and then was kind of like, ignoring me a little bit and like trying to like pick on me. I think because of it, and
being
I
a bit petty.
Bit petty about it.
And petty to Peter.
Yeah, he was being petty to Peter, petty to me. I was a bit like, didn't really notice it at the time because I was, I was drunk. I was in good vibes. But when I looked back, I was like, the fuck? That was kind of weird. Anyway, we went home that night and we slept together. And then I think we like hooked up. No, before we slept together, we were laying in bed and he was like looking through my phone and like reading my messages to people, like people that I was texting. And at the time I was just like laughing, but now I'm like, the fuck were you doing that for? It was literally like, oh, why did you message this person? Why you
Yeah. You didn't even like once. That's weird. Oh no, you kind of knew him, but yeah, that's weird.
Yeah, right? Like quite protective. And then we
flag.
slept together and then afterwards, like, I'm old. I got to go to bed. It's 2 a.m. You're right, Nick?
Yeah.
So I roll over and I go to sleep. I literally passed out. And then I wake up and I think he's like trying to touch me and stuff. And I was like, no. Like I knew what he was suggesting, that he wanted to have sex again. Yeah, I'm tired.
Yeah.
And I was like, nah, like I'm good. Like I want to go to bed. Then he gets angry at me because I didn't want to have sex with him again and starts telling me like, oh, I have never been with someone before that doesn't want to have sex at least twice. Like this is crazy, as if like, who are you? Like you're so boring. You don't even want to have sex twice. Like that's crazy. And I was like, whoa, like I've had sex. I'm good. I'm going to go to bed now.
And also, bro, it's probably a sign that you didn't satisfy them the first time.
Yes, so true. And then he gets out his phone and starts telling me about all these like girls from the gym that he could just message right now that want him, and then like starts like pretending to like message them. And I'm just like, the fuck is going on?
You should have been like, okay, bye.
I was like, stop. And then he like even went over to like hug me, and I was like, okay, you need to like stop touching me now. I'm saying no. I mean no. So then I fell asleep. Well, I kind of did, but I was pretty angry because in my head was like, you're trying to coerce me into having sex with you. I didn't say it at the time, but I was like, this is fucked up. This is fucked. And so I went to bed, and then I get woken up by him in the kitchen, like very loudly putting his shoes on, like obviously trying to wake me up. And I just like,
wait, what time is this?
This is like 4 a.m. now.
Okay.
This is why I'm saying it went from 1 a.m. to 5 a.m.
Yeah.
He's putting his shoes on, and I'm just like, shit, like wake up, and I'm like, what are you doing? And he was like, oh, I'm just going to go. And I was like, okay, like we had a plan to drive my car home in the morning, but all right, go home then. Pass out again. Wake up maybe half an hour later. He's still kicking up a fucking fuss for me to hear him.
Bro, leave.
Like, and I'm like, just leave.
Shit, I'll get off the pot. That's all I have to say.
I do not
you know
care if you stay or you leave. I'd actually prefer it if you left because
No.
and then so he's still moving shit. You just fucking move glasses.
Like when you had a sleepover early in the morning, you want your friend to wake up.
You want to wake them up. He's doing that.
Yeah.
And then he shouts out, well, do you want to talk about it or what?
What, at 4 a.m?
No, I don't want to talk about it. I don't want to talk about anything. I want to go to sleep. And I was like, talk about what? And he was like, well, the fact that you don't want to have sex with me again.
What?
And I was like,
nah, disgusting.
Nah, bro. No, I'm going to sleep. I don't give a fuck what you do. Oh, no, actually, I think I was pretty nice and was like, just come to bed, go to sleep. Blah, blah, blah. So he comes to bed, we go to sleep. Whatever. The next day he drops me home and I was like, that was the most fucked up thing ever.
Wait, were you at your house?
No, it was at a friend's house. So she gave us her apartment and she went back to her partner's house.
Wow.
Because she lived close to the city, broke bitch, can't afford a long Uber. Drops me home. He's kind of messaging me that day and I'm just being very fucking cold kind of thing. And then I see him a few times at the gym, but I just completely ignore him. And then he messages me and he says something along the lines of like, hey, so I've actually gone on to your website and read some of your blog posts and I think I've learnt a thing or two about my behaviour that night. Can we catch up and talk about it? And I didn't want, to be honest with you, I didn't want to. I was like,
I don't want to me out.
You've icked me out.
Yeah,
I don't want to have any conversation with you. I don't want to educate you about fucking how to be a good human.
Oh my God, honestly.
But then I was like, but if I do this, if I just put in an hour with this guy, then he might not do it to somebody else.
Yeah, true.
So I did it for the greater good.
Having your sister's back.
Yes.
The girl's back.
So I had to meet with him fucking before the gym class in a park next to the gym and go and chat. So we sat down on the ground, legs crossed, fiddling with the grass. You know when you're like your kid in
when it's
school,
how awkward.
When you pick up a leaf and you kind of pick at the leaf.
Because you have nothing
But
else
we
to
didn't
do.
face each other. I was like, I don't want to face you. Just
that's
sit
weird.
side by side. He gets out his phone. He goes, sorry, I need to go through everything in my phone. And he's got a page, like a flick through page on his phone of everything he wants to talk about in notes.
Righto.
And it wasn't just about that night. It was, you know, when we first started flirting at the gym, my heart raced a little bit. It was like this full story. And then I had to address each point with him. Like,
Wow.
do you know how much I charge for my time?
I was going to say that is a waste of everyone's time.
Right?
I mean, not for his because he's probably learning something, but for you.
Yeah. Then at the conclusion of this conversation, he had the fucking audacity to ask me if things were if we could continue seeing each
I was
other.
gonna say, did he ask you out again? Now that I have learnt, I have learned
Literally,
all these things.
He pretty much asked if we were going to continue dating.
Bro, it takes a lot more than that to prove your worth and knowledge.
Number
and
one,
understanding.
we weren't dating. We slept together once. You don't own me like that.
No.
Number two, fuck off, no.
You're like, after you just made me feel guilty for not sleeping with you, probably going to take a while, then a few notes on your
Yeah,
phone.
and you just tried to coerce me into fucking you.
Yeah.
Nah, dog. And you kept touching me when I told you so many times no.
Yuck.
And then I had to see him. I still see him at the gym every fucking day.
Yeah.
And he was so weird. I think I told this story in our previous podcast about how one day he came up to me and was like, approached me from behind, got really close to me and was like, peace.
Oh, yeah.
But like slowly backed away. And then
He probably hated himself for that.
he had a stage where he would like be there with his mates and I would be leaving with my group and he wouldn't say goodbye to my whole group. He'd go, goodbye, Kate, and give me this fucked up wave. A few times he gave me the rude finger
the
and
hell?
said like, bye, smiled and gave me a double rude finger.
Like trying to be hell funny.
Like trying to flirt, I guess, in a
Yeah.
really, really weird fucked up way. And also, I'm fucking, at the time, 26. That is not the way you flirt with me, by being mean. Sorry,
We're
not in high school.
the schoolyard. And also in the schoolyard, we're not tolerating that anymore.
No.
Doesn't mean they like you, means they're a dickhead. Yeah, nah, not about that. And that comes down to it, like, good for you for educating him.
Yeah.
But, like, at what point does it become your responsibility? Like,
Exactly.
should he not already know that that is not okay?
Like a 23-year-old boy
Yeah.
should know, might not need to know about coercion or that sort of stuff, but
Yeah.
just being a good human being.
But also, he may
And
not know
respecting.
the word coercion because that is, like, kind of new term, I guess, coming out. But he should know that you don't pressure someone into having sex, right? That is like,
Right.
and then to then turn around and say, sorry, I'm just educating myself. I'm like, I know you weren't taught shit at school and we know the schools are, no offense,
Yep.
lacking in that area.
Uh-huh.
But also, surely you would know that that's
Mate.
not
Yeah.
cool. Like pressuring someone to have sex
He
with you.
didn't. He didn't fucking know.
Nah, that's
So,
the dog.
brings me coercion. We've talked about it a bit. What is it?
I reckon, well, a simple version,
Mhm.
Convincing someone to have sex with you after they've sort of said no.
Yeah.
That's put it simply, but I guess it is more a fancy definition.
Which is, it describes any attempt to control your behavior with threats or manipulation. Sexual coercion then happens when someone won't accept no and continues to try to convince you to change your mind about engaging in sexual activity. For example, they try to guilt trip you, or they say they're going to text other people to
Yep.
come and fuck them, or they make you feel bad because you only want to have sex with them once. Just
Yep.
back to that point. Are many people fucking more than once in a night?
I think we put a poll up because definitely not
I
me.
need to know.
That is not me.
Yes, twice are easy. Thrice, I'm sore. I probably got thrush already starting to happen. Probably got a UTI.
The UTI
I'm
is going.
tired.
I just reckon if you're doing it right the first time and all parties are satisfied, I don't know, does it need to happen again? Sure, maybe when you're in the honeymoon phase or whatever, but you know, every time, no.
I just want to know how many people are fucking more than once. Like, okay, on a
the-
one night stand and with a regular night stand, like a fuck buddy, and also in a relationship.
Definitely not in a relationship. Sorry, can speak from experience. Not sure about the other people, but I also agree. I reckon people, you should both be exhausted after the first time saying that. You know.
I know. I can see like a little intermission, sip of water.
That's
Go
fine.
back, start again.
But if you're already asleep at 2 a.m,
Don't wake me up
no,
when I'm
don't
asleep.
wake me up. Like if you're both still up and chatting, sure, maybe, but like.
Don't wake me up when I'm asleep.
But again, that goes down to it. Like once someone says no once, like that's it. That's done.
it, bro.
You don't even say, are you sure? Nothing. You go, okay, and you drop it, you move on.
No is a definite no.
No is a don't ask me again.
Yeah.
Like, and I feel like even not in the terms of sexual relationships, like you grow up with that. Like your parents being like, don't ask me again. You know what I mean? Like if you're like a kid and you're like, can I do this? Like, no, I've said no, don't talk to me again. So like you always hear it. So I'm like, why is
Not
people suddenly
new
acting like
information.
it's a new thing?
Yeah. Yeah.
But
Okay, so then let's talk about. So we know what coercion is. It's basically convincing someone to have sex with you after their consent was no.
Yeah.
They're not consenting. So then what is consent? And me and Nicolette can talk about this for days.
we can.
So we are.
Here
Go
we are,
on.
we're doing it. So
What's the definition?
for a person to give consent in an intimate exchange, the person must either give their permission, which could be saying yes, or change their mind freely without any threats, force, violence, coercion, manipulation.
I guess the key word here is freely.
Freely.
And that just means that can you change your mind? Do you have the ability to change your mind? Could you take back consent at any choice? Were you manipulated into making that choice? If the answer is, it can't be yes or no. But if you can do those things
Freely.
then you got to consent freely. And then that
100%.
means consent was given.
So you might have said yes, but then you think, oh, but I only said yes after they kind of made me feel bad. Then it wasn't a free yes. It wasn't consensual. So the yes has to be, fuck yeah, let's go. I'm keen for this. Let's have sex. Let's go.
Let's
do it
go,
right now.
baby.
I'm not second guessing it. I want to do it. I'm happy to be here.
Yes.
Anything other than that? No.
Yeah.
Not
Totally
consent.
agree. Okay, so then how are we asking for consent? Because I feel like so many people think that consent is like, are you consenting? I am a consent robot.
Yeah.
And I've had it twice where someone said, Miss Raston, are you consenting? And I was like, I'm not now.
No.
You have turned me off.
Yeah.
And then I've had another one that was said, are you consenting? And I just, cool, great start. It doesn't need to be that though.
And I also reckon like it's such a basic thing. And like when you hear people, and typically not all the time, and I'm saying like you hear this from men like complaining and doing like, oh, what do you need them to sign a fucking contract these days because anyone can turn it around and say you didn't consent and then fine you and you can go to jail. Okay, bro, first of all, we already know that the law's not on the victim's side. First of all.
Yeah.
Second of all, if you're that guilty and worried about it, you're obviously not asking anyone for consent. Like, you know you've done something wrong. If you're freaking out so bad that someone's going to say you weren't they weren't consenting, you probably fucking didn't get consent anyway.
Yeah.
So it just comes down to basic things like, how does that feel? Can I keep going? Does that feel good? Do you want to do this? Like, it's so easy.
Do you know what my go-to is?
Well,
Very simple. I go, are you okay?
yeah.
Because then it looks like I really care. And I do care if they're okay. But then I'm hoping they'll ask me if I'm okay back.
Exactly, and that's the thing. You can always make the first move.
Yes.
So, like, I feel like lots of women, especially, maybe ask for men to make the first move. They're like, sit there awkwardly and wait for someone to ask.
Nah, 2023, number one, we're making the
for it.
first move. Number two, we are being the first person to ask consent. We got to do this. We got to start modeling it for someone else, and then they can copy us.
Communication in the bedroom so important. And don't, like, sorry, you already got someone up in your private parts and you're too awkward to ask.
Honestly,
If that feels good. Like, why are we so weird about that?
I will sleep with you. You can see me naked, but damn as hell I'm going to get nervous sending you a text message the next day.
Because we all know sleeping together these days is first base.
Oh, it is.
Fourth base,
Texting.
no saving their name under a number.
Oh, God. I did that once. We
That's
broke
serious.
up. So that's why we
like-
don't save people's
It's
numbers.
still +61, whatever, in your phone.
I will change. I'll put your name in my phone the day we get married. After the I do's, before we sign the certificate,
That's when it's changing.
I'm changing it.
You know what I'm going to do the night of my wedding night? I'm going to change Zach's name in my phone from Zach Tinder to Zach. I know.
Stop
It's pretty crazy. It's pretty crazy. So,
Crazy.
still out here keeping it, pretty low key.
We just don't know where it's going to go.
We're casual.
It's easy, going with the flow. It's whatever.
Easy breezy. Whatever.
Beautiful cover girl.
Exactly. All right, what about how to say no? So obviously, when you change your mind, you can say no anytime.
Any point you can take back consent.
Even if you're halfway through. Obviously not afterwards. If you've already consented and you have sex, you can't then go say, no, I didn't consent to that.
Yeah.
But if you're halfway through and you're like, actually, this person sucks.
You're not
This
it.
ain't it.
Okay. Things that I think it's all well and good for me to say this, but to be fully transparent, I do find it difficult.
It is difficult, but that's why you got to keep talking about it.
Yeah. But I think things like, nah, I'm not into this. I don't want to do this anymore. Can we stop? I mean, obviously no and stop is great, but when can I ever actually verbalize that, even outside of consent?
Yeah, if you just
so
want to be
hard.
a bit more like casual about it. So how about this instead? Let's take a break.
Go to the toilet.
Leave.
Or this is what I say. This is what I say to when we work with our groups. I say this one where you go, I'll be right back. And you
then
fuck off and you never come back.
You leave.
Do.
You're gone.
Gonna go change into something more sexy.
Yep.
See
Leave.
ya.
Or you can say, actually, I'm not quite in the mood for this right now. Let's do something else.
Actually, no.
Whatever.
Denied.
But again, don't make the other person like, you don't have to worry about making them disappointed or sad. Like, put yourself first. If you're not feeling
100%.
it, you don't have to be like, this is the worst route of my life. I'm leaving. I mean, if it is,
Shit.
You can say
And
that.
if they are shit, just give them some pointers.
Yeah.
Next time, do this with your hands or this with your mouth.
You don't have to say you're shit. Like, just like, oh, how about we try this? And that's a polite way of saying this isn't really working for me. Let's try something else.
Yeah. Flip side of that, I think we also need to be prepared to get a no back from someone.
Yeah, 100%.
Because I think, no one would ever turn me down. But obviously people would, because fucking not everyone's cup of tea.
And if everyone says, if someone's like, is this working for you? Don't be afraid to say no. And don't be afraid to receive no. Like if you've asked someone and they're like, actually, no, it doesn't feel very good. You got to be like,
I mean, it hurts your ego, 100%.
fine.
But
that's
life.
how we work and get better.
Yes.
Exactly.
Also, I think a really good thing to point out is like when we're giving consent or like when we're asking someone for consent, there's so many different ways that someone can also say yes. And it shouldn't just be about the words that come out of their mouth. I reckon body language. Like
100%.
obviously always definitely got to be yes or that they're keen or
A
whatever.
free yes, yep.
Free yes, however that looks for you. But I would also be like looking at their body language and like if they're saying a yes, but their body language is showing a no, nah dog, it's not on.
You can tell the difference. I mean like, hey, you keen to this? Yeah, compared to fuck yeah. So
Fuck
like,
it,
and as soon as someone says, yeah, okay, that sounds good, you're like, oh, you might not really be that keen. And I'm just talking about in general activities. So like when it comes to sex, you can clearly tell if someone's like saying yes just for the sake of it or if they actually want to do it.
Yeah.
And also checking in on them is always ongoing. So don't just say like, do you want to have sex and then do it and then like not talk. It's always asking throughout the whole thing.
Because this is a great way to start communicating during sex about your wants and your needs.
Exactly.
Where you like to be touched and what you want. And then they can do the same. And then it makes sex heaps more enjoyable.
Exactly. All right, what about alcohol? We always get asked about this. Alcohol and drugs.
We always get asked about this from our following, our international followers.
International following. When we work within this space.
In this space, because we do work in this particular space.
Can you have sex under the influence, Kate?
Well, technically, and I'm saying Western Australian law, that's where I'm speaking on,
So
you
all those in
cannot
Sweden,
give consent whilst under the influence.
Substantially affected.
Well, sorry. The law says if you are substantially affected by alcohol and drugs, you cannot consent. And what substantially affected means is if it's in the eyes of a sober person looking at someone else, if they can tell that someone is drunk, so maybe they're like stumbling, slurring their words, they like physically look drunk,
Tripping over.
then the law would say that person cannot consent to consent.
And
Cannot consent.
You can tell someone's drunk, like, pretty bad as well. What about age, though? So, obviously, we know that 16 in WA, you have to be over the age of 16 to have sex.
Whoa, big word.
However, sometimes people get confused, Kate. So, can a 16-year-old and a 19-year-old or anyone over the age of 18 legally have sex?
Yes, I can. However, if the person that is 18 or over is considered to be in a position of power to them, so that's someone that's like a teacher or a coach, sporting
tutor,
person,
manager,
they cannot have sex because between the ages of 16 and 18, you cannot have sex with someone that's in a position of power to you.
Wow.
When you're over the age of 18, the choice is yours. However, if they're a teacher and student, that is a no-go. No go.
I actually wonder what the go
You could sleep with your manager when you're over the age of 18, but I would not recommend it.
Again, the title
Unless
of the
you
episode.
want to go higher.
Don't shit where you eat.
Shit where you eat.
Climb that corporate ladder.
If you want to climb the corporate ladder, though, it could be,
Get in with the bosses.
Bosses.
The bosses.
However many you need. You got to
boss.
do what you got to do.
Yeah. You fuck your way to the top. No, I'm just kidding.
And that's how we got here today.
Exactly.
By fucking our way to the top of the podcasting world. Number one.
No, we're just kidding. But we actually really hope you guys, normally we're funny. We are still funny, but we hope you learned something today.
Us just proclaiming that we're funny.
We are funny.
Even if you don't think it, we're saying we're funny. So therefore we are funny, god damn it.
And again, we're the only ones in the room and Lainey, so she's not going to disagree.
And I've heard giggles from her.
And we don't really care what anyone else thinks.
Oh yeah, wrap it up, babe.
Or up that. Just like it's been me talking. Wrap it up.
Babe, shut up. We're done. Wrap it up.
Done. Dushkin.
Long podcast out.
We is all done for today.
We use.
So that is all we have time for today. We will be releasing podcasts weekly, even though sometimes we don't. But when we do, we will. So
yeah.
There you go. If you liked it, please give us a follow on Spotify. Leave us a review. We actually have we only have 5-star reviews on Spotify.
We've only got 5-star reviews.
And I actually haven't even told our friends to do that. So that's all authentic.
Can I give a shout out for the final thing? I just want to give a little shout out to the one and only Lil Nas X. Because
we
saw him at Falls.
So good.
I wasn't a fan. I saw his performance. Fan.
100%.
Actually, his performance, incredible. I got up on Claire's. I didn't know there was any performance. I got up on Claire's shoulder. There was 10 performers. Yeah. So these dudes, so muscly, so fit, just smashing out the best dance moves I've ever seen.
So good.
Then Lil Nas X is like, oh, I better go get my horse. And then I thought it was a real horse. Yeah. I see this horse come out and I started booing because I was like, boo, real horse, boo. And then this girl was on shoulders behind me and I turned around and was like, is that a real horse? And she looked at me and she was like, no, of course not. And I was like, okay, woo, I'll allow it.
Like he's going to get a horse on stage with all this noise. The horse will probably like
my head was very quickly ticking over with all this animal cruelty. That's not allowed. We can't have that. No. Anyway, fake horse. It was even better.
He's not just like, he was a full performer. You know how the rest of them are kind of like
bands
in the nicest way possible, a bit Triple J. Like they'll kind of come out and they're like, wow, thanks. And it's like beautiful music, but kind of boring to watch. Like I could just listen to that. But
this is a performance.
Those fucking CO2 guns and like
little costumes. There was 4 costume changes.
His hair in pigtails. He's like doing these spins. Oh, it was amazing. And we were like at the back so we could actually dance. You know, new thing, don't like being in mosh pits. Put me towards the back. I can dance around. And then again, first out.
But so yeah, Lil Nas X, he's pretty small, probably hasn't heard we probably haven't heard of him, so I guess our shout out is doing him a lot. We're probably going to give him some new fans.
Maybe we should send him an invoice for that, actually.
That's for our time for his airtime. I think we should send him an invoice. Yeah, makes sense.
Just for shouting him out, just getting on there. That was a whole couple of minutes, so you're welcome.
You're welcome, Lil Nas X.
If you like the podcast, please give us a follow on Spotify, leave a review in the podcast app. Also follow us on Instagram and TikTok at Dayfacto, where we post cool stuff in general.
Over and out.